Today I'm going to make my very special New Year's banana bread. This is something that we love to eat at my house, and we're going to start with 2 cups of bananas, which is 4 bananas, and usually I like to use completely brown ones, but I don't have 4, so I'm going to use one not so brown one that no one will eat because it's getting speckled. This is my mom. Mom usually uses 5 bananas, but I'm only going to use, well, should I use 4?
You could use 5 and use up some of the other ones.
Alright. I'll do that. So, she's going to wash her hands, so just don't mind that. Now, it's not so much fun to look at bananas that have been in the freezer, but that's usually what I do, because once they get brown like this, I put them in the freezer so that they'll stay not completely rotten. But I'm just putting these 5 bananas into the bowl. Disgusting. Okay, so now I've got all of these bananas in the bowl, like that. I am going to mix them up a little bit before I add the rest of the ingredients, because that way they'll be a little bit mashed up and they won't be in such big chunks. See, I'm just mixing them. Here are my bananas, now that they've been mixed up. See, it's kind of, they're all mashed now. I have my flour that's in this bowl here. This is 5 cups of flour. I'm going to add a few teaspoons of baking powder. It's 7 to be exact. And I'm adding that to the flour. I like to put all the dry ingredients in and mix them first. This is 3, 4, 7, and then 2 teaspoons of salt, and I'm going to add that in as well. Okay, so there are my dry ingredients, and I'm just going to mix those together. It'll make the bread more even. Also, when I measured the flour, I made sure that the cups were, the flour was spooned into the cups, and then I evened off the top of each cup so that there wasn't too much flour. You have to be pretty exact when you bake bread like this. Okay, now before I add the flour, I'm going to add 2 eggs. This one isn't coming out as easy. There we go. 2 eggs. And I'm going to mix that together. Okay, my eggs are mixing. The easiest way to do the oil, it calls for 6 tablespoons, but I'm just going to do 1/4 of a cup, just 4 tablespoons, and then 1 more half of 1/4 of a cup. And that'll make about 6 tablespoons. The oil doesn't have to be quite as exact. And we'll mix that in. I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar, just regular white sugar. Oh, and my oven has been preheated to 350. We'll let that mix in. The reason I added the milk first, or the sugar first, is because now I can add 1.5 cups of milk and use the same cup that I used for the sugar. Because I'm a normal person, I don't have someone else to wash all the dishes for me. Okay, now that all the wet ingredients have been mixed together, which I believe they are, it's time to add the dry ingredients, and these have all been mixed together already, so they're all ready to be added. So I'm just going to add in the dry ingredients, get them mixed in, and then I'll show you what the batter looks like once we're all done. Okay, my batter is all done, and I'll let you see it. And it is batter. Even though this is bread, it's more like batter than dough. And I've already greased these two pans down here. So I'm going to pour batter in, equal parts in both. Alright, so here I have my 2 pans of batter. The oven is preheated at 350. Putting them in for about an hour. Well, I finished my loaves. They came out looking like this, pretty nice. So we'll try them, and I'm glad that you all watched.